Life is Strange, Crossroads, Into the Storm. Prologue. Max! Max reopened her eyes with a start. She hadn't realized yet, but then she understood. The strong wind and the violent and incessant rain raged over the whole area, while the tornado, that monster thirsty of destruction, continued inexorably and relentlessly to advance toward Arcadia Bay. Oh, Chloe, I must have fainted. She looked at her with relief, hugging her. You really scared me. I thought you would never wake up again. Max looked at the tornado. She was pervaded by a great anguish and indescribable sense of helplessness. What could she do to avoid all this? Could it be that even if she tried to fix her mistakes, everything inevitably led to this? Max, this is the only way. Chloe handed her the photo she had taken in the bathroom before meeting Nathan. It looks I took it 1,000 years ago. She stared at it for a moment when Chloe said, You can use it to put everything back in place. I just have to... She knew what was going to face, and it was something that could barely accept, and for that she covered her face with her hands, crying. No, Chloe, I won't allow this. I did so much to save you. I can't, and I don't want to lose you now, said Max, taking her hands. But Chloe seemed adamant. Everyone deserves to live more than me. I've been selfish, and I know my mom doesn't deserve to die in a fucking diner. And my stepfather doesn't deserve this either. For once, I want to accept my fate. Chloe, no, I can't do that. You are my top priority now. How could I remotely think to sacrifice you? No, Max. Chloe looked her straight in the eyes. Those sweet blue eyes, scared, but also aware that there was no other way. You are the only one that can. Max looked at her and couldn't believe that now she would have to make a choice. The most impossible choice that fate has ever forced her to make. Fear, anguish, and anger were growing inside her heart, knowing at the very moment she made up her mind she would be carrying a burden on her shoulders too unbearable for any human being, no matter the outcome. And yet, she still could not believe that this ungrateful task was up to her. While all these feelings were destroying her, she finally realized what to do. Max, it's time, said Chloe. Max looked at the photo, and then Chloe. Her beautiful eyes that were saying to her everything did nothing but fuel and determine her decision. She approached her, took her face in her hands, and kissed her with all the love, the sweetness, and the passion that she could feel, while warm tears were flowing on her cheeks, mingled with the cold and merciless rain, as well as Chloe was doing with her. They broke away, and she took the photo and said, Not anymore! As she said these words and was about to tear the photo, a powerful gust of wind hit the two girls completely, causing them to collapse to the ground. They covered their faces, reaching out and clinging to each other, and when they could see what was happening, they saw that the tornado had unexpectedly changed direction and was heading right towards them. Stunned and frightened, they could not believe their own eyes. Could that gigantic beast of immense destructive power change its trajectory so quickly? Max! Max! What the fuck is going on? Chloe, I don't know, but something is changing. It's just like... But she was unable to end the sentence because a sudden lightning tore through the sky, falling straight on the cape of the lighthouse, causing it to collapse. The two girls were holding tight each other while falling into the void toward the rough and sharp cliff. Max, I love you. I always loved you, and I will always love you. Chloe, I love you too, and I'm happy to die in your arms. They thought that this was the end, when another more powerful lightning bolt folded, overtook them, and striking the cliff, created like a sort of gash that swallowed the two unfortunates. A very strong light hit them, and then silence. In that silence and that glow, Max and Chloe saw all the people they knew, but also others they didn't know. The succession became more and more rapid, without being able to distinguish them from each other, until they were completely blinded by the light.